Welcome once again to Commander by Danon. Today's video was brought to us by longtime Patreon supporter Brett. Huge thanks to Brett and the rest of my Patreon supporters. Brett reached out asking for a simple commander deck for a new player led by Wilson, Refined Grizzly, and Raised by Giants, and I was more than happy to help. Also, and I know it's annoying to keep hearing this, but statistically if I don't ask you to like and subscribe, the video gets fewer subscribers. Wilson Refined Grizzly is a 2-mana 2/2 legendary bear warrior with Vigilance, Reach, Trample, and Ward 2. He also can't be countered. Additionally, he allows us to choose a background. Raised by Giants is a 6-mana legendary background enchantment that gives commander creatures we own a base power and toughness of 10/10. Wilson is already a great magic card by himself, but if we make him a 10/10, he's a powerhouse. So this deck will basically be a Voltron deck, where we want to beat our opponents to death with our commander. But we want to avoid any combos or tons of triggers because we don't want to overwhelm our new commander player. But before we get to our deck list, a quick word from our sponsor, Ultimate Guard. Years before this channel was sponsored by Ultimate Guard, they were always my #1 choice when it comes to sleeves or deck boxes. Pick up Ultimate Guard products at your local game store, or order them on Amazon. Link down below. In order to build a functional commander deck, you need lots of different pieces, which is why I try to rely on my handy-dandy checklist. 50 mana sources, usually split between 37 lands and 13 pieces of ramp, 10 pieces of card advantage, 8 to 10 pieces of spot removal, 2 to 3 board wipes, 2 pieces of graveyard hate, and 1 sudden I win card. Oh, one more quick announcement before we get started. I'm going to be streaming on Musings by Danon as well as Twitch. It'll mostly be Final Fantasy XIV, but you're more than welcome to pop in and talk about Commander. Honestly, about half my streams are talking about manga, anime, or Commander. For lands, we're running Rogue's Passage, War Room, Witch's Clinic, Nykthos Shrine to Nyx, Scavenger Grounds, and 31 Forests. Pretty straightforward. To keep ahead of the curve, we're running Fanatic of Ronus, Llanowar Elves, Elvish Mystic, Fyndhorn Elves, Tanuki Transplanter, Sol Ring, Arcane Signet, 3 Visits, Rampant Growth, Nature's Lore, Cultivate, Kodama's Reach, Skyshroud Claim, and Virtue of Strength. Again, pretty straightforward. To keep our hands full, we're running Harmonize, Return of the Wild Speaker, Eternal Witness, Owlbear Shepherd, Colossal Majesty, Sixth Sense, Keen Sense, Sylvan Library, Enchantress's Presence, Glorious Sunrise, Hunter's Insight, and Rishkar's Expertise. Gotta dig through our decks to find ways to make our commander even bigger. For interaction and spot removal, we're running Collective Resistance, Ram Through, Beast Within, Reclamation Sage, Kenrith's Transformation, Naturalize, Return to Nature, Inscription of Abundance, Blessed Respite, Veil of Summer, and Animist's Might. To reset the board, we've got Hurricane and You Look Upon the Tarrasque. Again, pretty straightforward. The core of our deck consists of Blanchwood Armor, Lion Umbra, Bear Umbra, Snake Umbra, Strong Back, Indomitable Might, Blackblade Reforged, Basilisk Collar, Fire Shrieker, Boar Umbra, Rancor, Spider Umbra, Eldrazi Conscription, Ancestral Mask, and Exponential Growth. Supporting our plan, we've got Unnatural Growth, Tamiyo's Safekeeping, Swiftfoot Boots, Zapandrel Hunger Dominus, Snakeskin Veil, Heroic Intervention, Blossoming Defense, and Silk Guard. Plenty of ways to pump and protect our commander. Now that we have our deck list, let's compare it to our checklist. 50 mana sources split between 36 lands and 14 pieces of ramp, right on target. 12 pieces of card advantage, 11 pieces of interaction, 2 board wipes, 2 pieces of graveyard hate in Return to Nature and Scavenger Grounds, 2 sudden I win cards in Unnatural Growth and Zapandrel Hunger Dominus. For those who don't know, Commander was originally called Elder Dragon Highlander. Highlander, because there can be only one copy of each card, and Elder Dragon, because originally you could only run one of the 5 Elder Dragons printed in Legend as your commander. The idea of commander damage came about because if one of these beasties were able to smash you in the face 3 times, and you couldn't prevent it, you deserved to just lose the game on the spot. And since all 5 of them were 7/7s, that's where we got the 21 commander damage rule. So in order for Unnatural Growth or Zapandrel Hunger Dominus to win us the game, we need Wilson Refined Grizzly to have at least 11 power prior to our combat step. With all the pump we have in this deck, shouldn't be hard. The whole reason I started doing commander content was the realization that certain archetypes are much more complicated than others. You don't want to hand a new player a Spellslinger deck, or an Aristocrats deck, or, heaven forbid, a Cycling deck. But a Voltron deck? A deck where you pump your commander to make them as big as possible in order to kill your opponents? That's perfect. Now, Brett mentioned that the deck should have a budget of up to $500, but I kept it under $200, mostly by not including swords. The reason goes back to this being someone's first ever commander deck. All the swords have a triggered ability, and asking a new player to remember all of them could overwhelm them. But eventually, I think they should add a few as they see fit. Of course, if you add any swords that have protection from green, you wouldn't be able to enchant Wilson, so keep that in mind. Do you have a Wilson Refined Grizzly deck? What about a deck that relies on Raised by Giants? Leave a comment below. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, a huge shout out to Mentor to Cute Stuff. I couldn't make these videos without her. If you'd like to hire her to edit your own videos, she can be reached at cutestuff.edits@gmail.com. Link is down below. If you're looking for ways to support the channel directly, you can head on over to patreon.com/Danon. You can have a video made or just ask for help building or tuning a deck list. I also wanted to give a quick shout out to all of my patrons: Waffles, Jiraiya, Danny, Muffins, Marcus, Brett, Roxy, Sean, Mark, Borgie, Nazwin, Midge, Alex, Conga, Aaron, Chris, Robert, Austin, William Pye, Turner, Triz, Scott, and Gazaris. You guys are awesome. I post new Commander Deck videos every weekday, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified of new videos. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all again next time on Commander by Danon.